I can try to get it up to 2,300 for the fans. For the fans. Could do it for the fans. This guy's 2180. It's Mr. Elman. He's from Azerbaijan. We know a lot of great chess players come from Azerbaijan. So you've got to be really respectful of them because they know all their Russian theory and stuff like that. And yeah, they know what they're doing. G'day, Jurassic Park. Oh, his name is Jurassic Park. I'm going to hit his bishop. That's his queen. I thought it was his bishop. I thought I was hitting his bishop. And I'm going to play rook here. Protect my bishop. And do you know that, guys, do you know that this is a book trap? Hold on. I'm going to do the alert. Book trap. This position is a book trap. It's book trap alert. Woo! And I will show you how. Okay, here we go. We'll turn that alarm off, and now we're going to prove it, haven't we? So we go bishop here. We attack his queen. Then we play bishop here. We attack his queen again. And this is the book trap. Game over. What a masterpiece. And you know what? All this is the book trap. Okay, it's a 15-move book trap. So that if you ever play the Marshall attack, remember this book trap. I'll go back through it for you in the analysis room. Now, L-Man 8B58 is 2,180 rating, okay? He's 2,180 rating, but he's going to lose his queen in a minute. I can win the queen or I can win the bishop. So I can play bishop takes bishop. That seems to kill him straight away. Or I can win the queen. I can play queen checks and then, that wins everything. Queen checks wins the whole lot. Queen checks wins the whole lot. He's going to lose every piece he's got. He's going to lose everything. See, everything's gone. It's all gone. There's no defense. So there's no checks or threats or anything like that. We can play bishop here on his knight. Attack his knight. And you see, we just got him. There's nothing he can do. So now we can take the pawn or we can take the knight. Well, we'll just take the knight. Taking the knight looks good, doesn't it? If I take the pawn, I get a lot of pawns, but I want to take the knight because now I've got two pieces up. 2 pieces up, see? And notice his pawn structure's under attack. Because we understand the fundamentals of chess, right, the fundamentals, his pawns are under attack. So we'll play rook here. Okay, we'll just improve our position. So now we can play bishop check. Rook check. Okay. Knight check. Do you like this game? Isn't this a great game? I love chess, I really do. Rook takes pawn, looks like it's going to be a checkmate. Rook takes pawn. We'll give him the knight because I think he's going to get checkmated here. I think he will be checkmated. Okay, so we're going to play bishop here. We can win his rook, but it's also going to be a checkmate. Bishop here threatens checkmate. Threatens rook takes pawn, checkmate. There's nothing he can do. He can't do anything. He can't push pawns. He can't do anything. So he loses another piece and loses all his pawns. Loses all his pawns. We'll just go bishop back here. Oh, hold on. You could take that pawn. Go bishop here. And take more pawns off. See, he's got no play. He's got no play at all. So for all his great pawns and pawn structure and everything, he's got nothing. Okay, so just play king over here. And stop all his pawns moving forwards. Attack his pawns. Still attacking his pawns. Give him a check. Just to send him back. We'll take a pawn off. He's not threatening anything. We'll take another pawn off. We'll go for queen. Oh, you got a check. Good on him. He got one check. His pawns can't go anywhere. They're all doubled and tripled. He can't move his pawns. I'm going for a queen. I've got a real pawn. Do you realise that my one pawn is better than his 3 pawns? So even if I took the rook off the board, say the rook's not there, right? Say the rook is not on the board, take it away off the board, well, I still win. There's nothing he can do. Nothing. So go for a queen. He really thinks he's going to save his game, does he? Listen, I thank you, Quest, for following. I haven't got much time left here, so I've got to be careful. He thinks he's going to do some damage, but he's not. Or he's not going to move. He's not going to move, or what? I think he's probably gone. Probably gone back to Azerbaijan. gone back to Azerbaijan. But Azerbaijan has produced some fantastic chess players. And Elman, he's not a young man. He's 2180. He might be a really strong cross the board player, but he lost that game. But you know, I promised you that I would show you how easy it is to win in the Marshall against a 2174 player. See, and I'm just going to analyse this game with you because I want to show you the Marshall trap. Every move that I made against our good friend Elman today was a book trap, okay? Okay, so it's a well-known book trap to anybody that plays the Marshall. Something you must know. Okay, e5, knight f3, knight c6. So this is the Ruy Lopez opening Marshall attack, right? Bishop to b5. Mark of the Ruy Lopez. Bobby Fischer played it all the time. Recently, Carlsen played a masterpiece and he played the Marshall attack, right? And that was on Agadamor's channel. And I think I covered it too, Magnus Carlsen's Marshall attack. And I could tell you a story about the Marshall. And I'll stop here for a second. I'll tell you that story. I was playing in a tournament in what's called the Doble Cup in Canberra, Australia, and I was playing International Master Hazai, and I played the white side of the Marshall attack. So I played knight f6 against International Master Hazai, and he castled. Oh no, I was white and he was black. And then he played this against me. And I went there and he went there and I went there and he castled. And then he went there and I went there and he went here. So I was playing the white side and I got this position against International Master Hazai. And he didn't play this move. He actually played knight takes pawn. But the story that I want to tell you is this. After he smashed me up and checkmated me brilliantly, Grandmaster Rogers comes over to me. He said, I see that you played the 23 move variation, right? It's a 23 move variation from the opening, all book and all theory. And he says, you played a 23 move variation against International Master Hazai. And he said, did you know? I said, no what? And Grandmaster Rogers says, Ian Rogers, he says, John, he says, International Master Hazai is my trainer. He says he actually happens to be one of the world's, or if not the world's foremost theoretician on the Marshall attack. I thought, shit. So I never did my research. Now you know why players on the chess tours and stuff, they take around there, they carry their computers, right? And they look at what their opponents play before they actually play them so they can prepare a little bit, prepare opening against certain players, right? But I never knew that this guy that I played, he was the world's foremost theoretician. Anyway, we'll get back to this game now. Yeah, a lot of the time, knight takes pawn could be played, right? And the variation, look at Carlsen's game, go to chessgames.com and look up Carlsen's games with the Marshall attack. He played the knight takes pawn variation. But today, I'm going to show you this variation. And the reason why I played this variation, notice it's got a little book moves insignia next to it, okay? So it is a variation, so it is a book move, okay? Now, my opponent played pawn takes knight, and that's a book move, right? And then I played pawn takes knight. Now, do you know that in this position, you would think the natural move is queen takes pawn. And this is where people that don't know it, now Elman might not have known the theory, or alternatively, he may have thought, oh, maybe John doesn't know the theory, right? He might think that I don't know it, and he might think he'll get away with it, right? But the main move is pawn here, right? That's the move. So even though the king side's busted, you don't worry about that because there's not the attack can't come, right? It's very, very hard for the attack to come, right? After this d4 move. So even though the pawns are busted on the king side, it's very, very difficult to get in there against white's big pawn wall here and the beautiful white bishop and this bishop coming up to f4 because white's moving very, very quickly and rapidly developing, okay? So, right, so in this position, right, he didn't play d4, he played queen takes pawn. And that's part of the trap. That's the natural move. Then black plays bishop here. That's the star move, that's the book move and part of the trap. Now, in this position, it's very, very important for white to play the right move. If white plays the wrong move, he loses, right? A lot of players will make this move, queen here, okay? Doesn't matter if they play queen here, right? Or queen here. Whatever move they make, your response should be rook e8, okay? Because they have to move to a black square, okay? In this particular case, he plays queen there. Notice the engine saying queen g3 was best, okay? All right then. So then I played rook e8, star move, best move. Now have a look at the bar on the side of the board. So black, despite having only 5 pawns and white having 7 pawns, black has got a 1 game. So the game's over. As far as the engine's concerned, this position's a win. And now we see what happened in the game. He just got into deeper and deeper trouble. He had to try a move like queen here, but he didn't. He played d4. So he hit his queen. He thought, well, I'll go back. Maybe he'll just take the rook off, okay? But then you play this bishop attacks the queen move. If you take the rook and the queen takes, white's fine. White will win the game. But after bishop here, the only move is rook here. That's the only move. It's lost. The game is still lost. See the bar on the side of the board? The game is still lost, okay? And the correct move is probably bishop takes rook, is it? No? Just wonder what the engine thinks here. No, it's not. There you go. So the best move is queen to d6. Okay, so you're threatening to just take your pawn back. So, right, take your pawn back, and you don't have to do anything because there's no threats, and you're threatening bishop takes pawn check and put the bishop back again. Right? That's how dangerous this position is. It's an absolute monster for black, okay? But we'll go back and see what he did. After we hit, he played rook takes rook check. And then after queen takes rook, have a look at the bar on the side of the board. He's got himself into an even deeper mess. So he didn't understand the position at all, right? Okay, he might not play the marshal normally or something. But yes, it's just an absolute mess. The queen can't go here because the bishop takes queen. It can't go there. And the queen is lost for all intents and purposes. So he played queen to d3. And what did I play? I played bishop takes... I played check. That's right, the best move. He put the queen in. Now, the engine's going to say bishop takes pawn check is best, right? See? I told you. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which move you play. You're still winning. So you can win the queen after bishop takes pawn check and queen takes queen. But I thought, I don't care. I thought I don't care. I'll show the engine that I can win a different way. And I took the bishop. And have a look at the bar on the side of the board. The whole trap, this book trap, is that deadly. It doesn't matter what black does. Black just wins everywhere. And the point is that this knight's got nowhere to go. If the knight comes here, bishop takes pawn, will hit the knight and the rook and everything falls, okay? but it might be the best. Bishop takes pawn. After knight here, bishop takes pawn. You can move the knight back, right? And then you could take the rook, and then the knight takes. That's about the best he can get out of it. But he's a castle down. One whole castle down. And it's just too much. Okay? So that's the book trap in the Marshall that you've learnt today. Okay? So say thank you for your free chess lesson, because it didn't cost you anything. I've only got Melatonin, the great Melatonin. He's the only subscriber in the channel. I reckon for a chess lesson like that, some more people should have subscribed. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that Moby, Jurassic Park. Hope you enjoyed that game. And enjoyed the book trap that I presented to you from the Marshall attack. Right, so don't say you don't